Maybe I'm live? Don't you always love when people go live? They're like, oh, am I live? Am I not live? And they're looking around. It's so funny. Um, hello, everyone. Dr. Andy here. I just finished um, a rockin' radio show over on Inspired Choices Network, Dr. Andy's World Radio. The title was WTF. And I actually did not get to one WTF that I wanted to, so I'm going to do it here real quick. Hi, Kim. Thanks for coming in and joining me. How much fun can we have today? Okay. I don't know if you saw on Facebook. One little WTF, and then we'll get to points of view, create your animals. I promise. Okay. WTF. There was a video going around about dairy farms on Facebook, and it came across my feed, and I looked at it, and I'm like, do you hit it? Do I really want to know? Right? Do I really want to know what is going on out there? Or is it even true what's going on out there? Okay, so I clicked it. I watched the video. It was horrific. So, WTF, dairy farm, all right? Milking cows, making milk for the rest of us people that drink milk. I don't drink milk, never really have. Not the point. Why is it, WTF, that the baby cows on this farm were the only ones not getting milk? Cow's milk? They were getting some blue formula? What? To save a couple bucks? So, my big question for this reality is what is it going to take to not be ruled by the bottom line and everything? So, that's my big question. What's it going to take for us to start choosing and for the corporations to start choosing beyond just the bottom line? But yeah, I mean, you're on a damn dairy farm. Shouldn't the baby cows get cow's milk? What? I don't know if you can find that somewhere, but it was not an easy video to watch. Just thought I'd tell you. Okay, enough about WTF today. We are going to move on to hi Neely, thanks for coming. You're getting good at these Facebook Lives. She keeps catching me. I feel so special, so lucky. Your points of view create your animals. I say this a lot, but I don't think I've actually talked about it. And this comes from a dear friend of mine, Dr. Dane here. He says his points of view create your reality. It's not your reality that creates your points of view. If you worry, and the easiest way to start this conversation is, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, throw them in there and I will do my best to see them and address them. Oh. Okay. When you worry about something, how often does that come true? Okay. Like you worry you're not going to be able to make your rent and it comes to fruition. You don't actually make your rent for 6 days past the first of the month. But you worry about it. It keeps you up at night. You don't know what to do about it. All those points of view about not being able to make your rent, and then it comes true, right? You it's a fulfilling prophecy. That's especially true with worry, right? Whatever you worry about generally comes about because your points of view create that reality. What you're worried about, what your point of view is about, what you are projecting into the future occurs. Because what if you're actually that powerful of a mofo? Everybody, what if you all are that powerful? You are that potent that you create your reality by what you think about, worry about, conclude is what is supposed to be, if that works for you or not, or conclude what is comfortable for you, if you like it or not. Because how many of us are kind of comfortable in energies that don't make a lot of sense that we would want to play in them? Okay, another example is, and I think I talked about this recently, you get out of bed, you walk around your bed, and you stub your toe on that same piece of furniture that has been there for years, but you stub it. And what do you say? Oh, yeah, Oh, I wonder what I don't even do this anymore. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. So you have concluded, you have projected into your future, it's going to be one of those days. So the next thing you do is spill coffee and have to change your shirt. The next thing that you decide just happens to you, what if you actually create everything, is you're sitting in traffic and you're late to work. And then what if you spill coffee on the paperwork that you needed to turn into your boss or whatever it was? But what if your point of view of, oh, it's going to be one of those days creates your reality? You decided that, you have lived up to it, it is one of those days. Okay, now I take it to our animals. What if it's your points of view that create your animals? Okay, common point of view. Little dogs bark a lot. I have that point of view. I have attempted to pocket away, right? I have attempted to change it, but how prevalent is that point of view? Little dogs bark a lot. So if you have that point of view that little dogs bark a lot, oh, what will you get? A little dog that barks a lot. That's a very simple example. Points of view from childhood. All Dobermans are mean. I was attacked by a Doberman. Not me personally, I'm just saying. If you were attacked by a Doberman when you were 8, I'm making this up. If you were attacked by a Doberman when you're 8, all Dobermans are mean. Every Doberman that you then come in contact to, if they are mean or not, will pick up on that energy. And what if, see, at 23 and at 34 and at 48, every Doberman I met tried to bite me. What if that actually had to do with your point of view that all Dobermans are mean? More so than the dogs that you met, the Dobermans you met. What if because our first language and their only language is energy. So they know you have this point of view, you have this energy of you. You hear all Dobermans are mean. They're like, oh, I'm picking up that. I'm getting what she's laying down. She wants me to be mean. Whoomp. What if your point of view is, I don't like little dogs? I actually had that point of view. I don't really like little dogs. I'm a big dog person. I like them better. They're easy. They have more manners. They don't, well, we already talked about the barking thing, but they don't bark as much, right? Until I got a little dog. And when that little dog joined my pack, because, well, he wanted to, it changed my entire practice with little dogs. And I ended up with an appreciation of little dogs, an acknowledgement of, yeah, they're different than big dogs and they're kind of cool. But because I had the point of view that I don't really like little dogs, I actually had more trouble with little dogs in their appointments when I was doing hands-on work. Yes, Neely. She says all Tobies I've ever met are big sissies. And the one I live with is a big sissy. His nickname is the Diva. Oh my goodness. He's like, oh. And if anything is weird, like there's a weird bag or something else, he sends in the standard poodle. He's like, dude, I got your back, you go in. So I just kind of picked that breed randomly. But yeah, they truly, most everyone I've met have been big sissies, including the one I live with. But that's just it. That's just it. Your point of view is they're big sissies. So the ones you're going to meet are going to match your point of view. They're going to match that energy and be big sissies. If you don't have a point of view about Dobermans being aggressive or bitey or mean, they're not going to show you that energy. And so these are very simple examples of what I refer to as, your point of view create your animals. If you have a point of view that you may not even be aware of, that nobody should have more than 4 dogs, that will cause a problem, and you end up with 4 dogs and all you get are problems in behavior with them, What if it has more to do with an underlying point of view that you are not even aware of? What about walking your dog? What if you had an incident, very significant, not really, but you had an incident, let's say at 15, walking your family dog, that at 23, when you had your own dog, is an unconscious point of view that when dogs are on leash, they are aggressive. What will you get? You will get a dog on a leash that's aggressive. It could even show up as you were watching a training video and this trainer said that when dogs on leashes have a propensity to be more aggressive, and you bought that as true for your dog, and now that dog's aggressive on a leash. Never was before. What if that nothing has changed with that animal except your point of view, your opinion of things? And this is known or unknown, conscious or unconscious. So what if that question, which was the last Facebook Live, what if the question is, I love, what's right about this I'm not getting, and what are my points of view here, known or unknown? What if you asked another question to change the energy? I actually did a show, gosh, I don't know if it was this season or last season, called Aggressive Dogs Anonymous, or Aggressive Dog Owners Anonymous. I still love that title. I don't know what else I'll create with that, but I do enjoy that. And I was talking about my last standard poodle, Jax, which I claim, it's my point of view, everything I learned about dogs, I learned from that dog. He was amazing, amazing. And he taught me so much. But he came to me very, I'm going to use all these words that people may or may not appreciate or like, but oh well. He came to me very confident, very alpha, very stable. He gave himself the job of protecting me, and he did it with grace. And he had no qualms about biting someone he thought was approaching me that he did not care for, biting someone that stuck their hands in his car, which just don't do that. Somebody coming in the house that was not invited, but as soon as they were invited, that was fine. I always joked for years that he knew how a dog was supposed to behave. And he was this like undercover aggressive dog. And you know what? I loved it. So what if you had that aggressive dog, but there is a component, there's a part of you, there is an underlying thing there that you love it, all the while trying to change this behavior? Well, that point of view of 80%, this is not cool, you shouldn't do this, but that 20%, ooh, I kind of like it. I kind of like that my dog protects me. What if that is what's locking it in place? My dog was never inappropriate. There was never, quote unquote, any reason for me to change his behavior. And I really kind of liked it. But that show is, okay, how much are we supporting undesirable aggressive behavior, or supposedly what is deemed undesirable aggressive behavior? Because I kind of like it. I kind of like that this dog wants to take care of me. I kind of like it that he's kind of oof with men that approach me or whatever it is. But that's becoming aware of what your points of view are. Because trying to train something away or change a behavior is going to be so much easier if you are aware of your points of view that is holding it in place. Because your points of view are contributing and creating that behavior. That behavior didn't start first. What if? I'll put it in the form of a question. What if that behavior didn't start first? What if, let's go back to this. This is one of my favorite examples, is a rescue dog. Actually, I was at a client's house to see a dog, and she got a new cat. And the first thing out of her mouth, and I talk about this a a lot is he's doing XYZ, whatever he was doing. But he was found in this abandoned building with his other mates, and she had bought into the story. And I actually stopped her. I'm like, all right, no matter his story, what is going on now? Because she bought into that story. Her points of view are because he was a poor abandoned kitten, he can behave any way he wants, even though I don't like how he's behaving. Your points of view are creating this. Your reaction to it is holding it in place. So if we actually get rid of the energy holding the story in place or not buying into the story anymore, what if the rest of it would change? Is this true of cats too? Well, I just had a cat story. How cool is that? So I don't know how late Facebook is. Yeah. So her perspective is I have weird cats. So if your point of view is you have weird cats, you're going to see weird cat behavior. And what if that's okay? None of this is wrong. None of this is right. This is just to get you to go, huh, if I keep going around telling everybody I have weird cats, they're going to show me how weird they are. So then I'm going to have more stories about my weird cats. They're going to do some more weird things. See how we end up in this circular loop of stuff. So if you really, really need these weird behaviors to change your point of view about having weird cats. If it's no big deal and it's a fun conversation and you enjoy the shit out of your cats, keep your weird point of view in place. But what we do in this reality is, oh, this all just happens to me. Oh, this is the animal I got. What if that's actually not true? What if we actually create everything? Everything your life and living looks like you have created. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. I'm sorry if you'd rather blame your parents or blame your job or blame your husband or blame your kids. But what if everything your life and living looks like you have created? So you know what that means? You can change it all. You have the power and the potency to change it. Like a lot of people always end up with, and they're so proud of this. Oh, I got another really sick dog that needs all this care and these weird surgeries. I always get, and we're going to go back to weird, we always get the weird animals and all the weird afflictions that, and the energy behind that, they don't ever say it, but the energy behind that is that only I can handle. And then the next sentence usually out of their mouth is, why do I always get the weird animals? So see all these different points of view and how they all kind of play together. I'm doing my very best to give you some examples, and we'll probably come back and look at this again and again. But you have one point of view that only I can handle all this weird stuff. So all those animals are like, all right, I will come to you then. And then you have these animals with all this weird stuff, and you're like, oh, so exhausting, or I don't want to, or I don't have the money to handle all this weird stuff. But you see how you created it with, I can only handle. So where does that point of view come from? How do you change that point of view? What if just acknowledging that you have that point of view changes everything? One of my tools really quick here before we sign off, because I can't believe I've been babbling for 20 minutes already. How's it get even better than that? One of my favorite tools, especially if you recognize that you're that person always ends up with the dog with the weird illness, or the dog with the multiple illnesses, or the dog that's always kind of neurotic. You always end up with those because your energy matches their energy. They're going to come and choose you. You're going to go, oh yes, I need that. I can handle that. I'm the only one that can handle that. Have someone else pick out your animals. I know it's really easy. I hate to actually, I love to. That's actually my point of view. I love to point out the obvious, because if you have somebody else with a different energy, like What if you found that person that has those 2 dogs that you absolutely adore? Things seem to go really easy for them. Have them contribute to you finding, connecting with, having that animal find you, however that ends up going together. Have them contribute to your next animal. What if bringing their energy and their points of view into the mix with your energy and your points of view creates a different connection with a different animal that you can then create more with? I know, a lot of woo-woo language there, Dr. Andy. Are you kidding me? My points of view don't create anything. I pick these animals and they always have all these problems. What if that's actually not true? What if secretly, because you have a point of view, you love the animals with the problems? And what if that's okay? What if you are that person that can handle that? Right? Come on. What if you are that person? But what if we start acknowledging our points of view and what they are creating? What if our points of view do create our animals? What if their behavior on walks has more to do with our points of view? What if what they eat and how they eat, and if they're good eaters or not good eaters, have more to do with our points of view? This is one that I actually play with a lot. I have a point of view. I have bought it from people. There are tons of other people on this planet that have this point of view, that poodles are rotten eaters. My last standard poodle, he was a rotten eater. This is long before I knew my points of view got involved in that. And so I bought it as true. I struggled with it for many years. We actually, lack of a better term, got a handle on it in his later years. And so I am actually diligent that I do not project that point of view onto my next standard poodle. And I have caught myself on days that he doesn't want to eat. I'm like, just like the last poodle. And I'm like, no, we do not project that point of view onto him. What can I do to change this? What information do I need here? What else is possible here? So I actually do still continue to check myself and my points of view as to not create things with my animals that are not true. But because energy is our first language and their only language, they are very, very, very in tune with our energy and our points of view that are all energetic. I think I just threw up on all of you. And if you made it to the end of this, congratulations. Like, it's been like over 20 minutes of points of view creating your animals, and there was a lot of information in there. And so if you kind of like got it but didn't get it, maybe you want to listen again. Maybe you want to go have a drink and come back and listen again. You know, whatever works for you. Any other, and there's so much more to this. There's so many levels. It just, you can, I don't know. I can tell. I don't know if you can tell. It excites me. Because what if all of the quote unquote issues you have with your animals, and even that's a point of view that you have with your animals is a point of view. What if you change your points of view, you can change everything that you would like to change with your animals? What if it's that easy? It can't be, right? Can't be. But maybe it is. I don't know. So I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Any questions, comments? Did I miss anything that needed to be addressed? I didn't. Woo! Screen just moved. All right. I think that's it. Holy moly. I will be back next week. Couple Facebook Lives on the 5s, Tuesday and Friday. I'm always here at 4:05 on Fridays. Dr. Andy's World Radio Show on Inspired Choices Network. Head over there, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Hop in the chat room. We'd love to show you what goes on in there. Ask your questions there. Comments. Would love to interact with you virtually. And then tomorrow, if you're on the free membership list and you got the email, you got the link to the Global Animal Magic session. Grab one of your animals. I'll grab one of mine. We're going to get together. We're going to run energy and we're going to see what we can change for us, our animals, and the planet. And until we meet again, in person or not, what if it's your points of view that create your animals? Mwah. Bye-bye for now.